Give yourself 6 months, not 6 years. Not some far-off date you keep promising to start. Just 6 months of pure, focused, committed effort. That's all it takes to rewrite your story. But you have to be willing to break free from the belief that transformation takes forever. The truth is, most people don't change because they don't believe they can. They get stuck in routines that drain their energy, in mindsets that limit their reach, in environments that suffocate their growth. But if you could step away from the noise, the fear, the hesitation, just for a short, intense period, you'd be amazed at what's possible. 6 months isn't a lifetime. It's not some unreachable mountain. It's 180 days. That's 180 chances to wake up with intention. 180 mornings where you decide not to repeat the same excuses. 180 nights to reflect, adjust, and keep climbing. Imagine what would happen if you took just half a year and gave it everything. Not half your energy, not part-time commitment, everything. Your focus, your discipline, your mindset, your resilience. If you gave that version of you, your strongest, most serious self, a real chance to lead for 6 months, you wouldn't even recognize the person on the other side. The problem isn't the lack of time, it's the lack of urgency. People wait for the new year, for Monday, for when things settle down. But the clock doesn't care about your reasons. Time keeps moving whether you're stuck or sprinting, whether you're growing or drowning in distractions. That's the hard truth. And here's the powerful truth. You're only ever 6 months away from a completely different life, from being sharper, stronger, clearer, more aligned, more confident, but only if you stop negotiating with your future and start building it today. Transformation doesn't ask for perfection, it asks for consistency. It doesn't demand you know everything, it demands that you refuse to quit. Every breakthrough you want, every level of peace, success, freedom, it's behind the wall of daily discipline. It's behind the decision to no longer tolerate mediocrity in your habits, your thoughts, or your standards. 6 months of saying no to what doesn't serve you. 6 months of showing up even when it's uncomfortable. 6 months of acting like your life depends on it because it does. Your potential is not something that waits forever. It demands to be claimed, and it only reveals itself to those bold enough to chase it with relentless focus. You don't need permission. You don't need approval. What you need is hunger, the kind of hunger that silences every excuse, the kind that doesn't wait for motivation but creates it through motion, the kind that gets tired of being tired and finally decides to become unrecognizable in the best way possible. You want to change your body, your mindset, your finances, your habits, your energy? Give it 6 months. Lock in. Go quiet. Go deep. Go consistent. And don't look up until the calendar has moved and your reflection has transformed. There's a version of you who's already done the work, already broke through the limits, already built the discipline, already made the sacrifices. That version is waiting for you on the other side of these 6 months, but you'll never meet them unless you get serious. Unless you stop treating your life like it's a rehearsal. There are no reruns. Just this moment, just this window. And you either use it or waste it. Most people won't. Most people will hear this, nod, agree, and then do nothing. Don't be most people. Be the one who commits. Be the one who takes 6 months and burns down the old version of themselves. Be the one who proves what's possible when you finally decide that you're done settling. Give yourself this gift, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Because the future you've been dreaming of doesn't show up by accident. It shows up after 6 months of showing up for yourself relentlessly, quietly, powerfully, and it all starts now. You need to destroy the illusion of later. That word, later, is the most dangerous lie people tell themselves. It's seductive. It makes you feel like you're not quitting, just postponing. But what you don't see is that every time you say later, you're handing over your power. You're saying your goals, your purpose, your growth, they can wait. You're trusting a future version of yourself that doesn't exist yet to fix the mess you're choosing to tolerate today. That's not a plan. That's self-sabotage dressed up as patience. Later becomes never in slow motion. And by the time you realize it, months have vanished, years have gone, and regret is all you're left holding. There is no perfect moment. There is no magical morning where you'll suddenly wake up fearless, motivated, and ready to move. The perfect time is the moment you decide, the moment you say, no more waiting, no more excuses. That's when everything shifts. Growth doesn't come when things are convenient. It comes when you get tired of your own voice making the same promises over and over again. The people who create real change, who build legacies, who break cycles, they don't wait for things to get easier. They move while it's hard. They start while it's messy. They show up even when no one claps, even when doubt is loud, even when they're scared. You need to understand something powerful. Later is killing your momentum. Every dream you keep delaying is slowly losing oxygen. And if you delay too long, that fire goes out. Not because it wasn't real, but because you never gave it the chance to breathe. You never gave it action. And no matter how powerful your intentions are, they're useless without execution. If you want to change your life, burn the bridge to later. Replace it with now, this moment, this hour, this day, and from there stack another, then another. That's how transformation begins, not with a bang, but with the quiet decision to stop running from your future and start building it, one step at a time. Decide who you're becoming, not who you've been, not who people say you are, who you choose to become from this moment forward. Everything changes the second you stop chasing goals and start embodying the identity that can achieve them. Because results don't come from effort alone, they come from alignment. The world responds to who you believe you are. So if deep down you still see yourself as broken, lazy, average, or unworthy, you'll keep repeating patterns that match that image. You can hustle all day, but if your identity hasn't shifted, you'll always fall back to your default settings. Change doesn't last when it's forced. It lasts when it flows from who you've decided to be. So ask yourself honestly, who is the version of you that has the life you dream of? How do they think? How do they speak to themselves? What do they do when no one is watching? What standards do they hold? And now ask yourself, are you living like that person today? If the answer is no, good, because now you know the gap. Now you know what needs to be rebuilt. You don't need more goals. You need more alignment. When your habits match your vision and your choices reflect your identity, momentum becomes natural. Discipline stops feeling like punishment and starts feeling like confirmation. This is who I am now. There will be resistance. Your old self will fight back. Your mind will try to protect the comfort it's used to, even if that comfort is misery. That's normal. But don't negotiate with the old version of you. That identity had its chance, and it led you here. Now it's time to outgrow it, to build a new image in your mind, one rooted in confidence, purpose, and direction. And you must live in that identity every day, not when you feel like it, every day. Because the more you act like the person you want to become, the faster you become them. You don't wait to be worthy. You decide that you are, and then you prove it through action. Day after day, choice after choice, until it's no longer a dream. It's your reality. Cut the noise. Kill the distractions. You cannot build a new life while staying loyal to the things that are destroying your focus. Every time you reach for your phone out of habit, every time you scroll without purpose, every time you entertain conversations that drain you instead of elevate you, you're feeding weakness. You're feeding delay. People say they want success, clarity, growth, but they won't silence the very things that are stealing those exact outcomes. You can't keep giving your time and energy to distractions and then complain that your life isn't moving forward. Attention is your most valuable currency. Whatever captures it owns your future. You must become ruthless about protecting your mental space. That means saying no more often. That means unfollowing noise. That means logging off, tuning out, and tuning in to your mission. Because here's the truth. Focus is expensive, and in a world addicted to stimulation, your ability to go deep, to sit in silence, to think with clarity, that is your competitive edge. You will not win this battle by being available to everything and everyone. You win by creating sacred space around your goals, by treating your time like it's gold, by refusing to dilute your energy with things that don't matter. You want to transform life in 6 months? Then you need transformed attention. You need to be unavailable to nonsense, unreachable by drama, unbothered by opinions. There is nothing more powerful than a person who knows what they want and refuses to be distracted. You don't owe the world your presence when your purpose is under construction. Disappear if you have to. Go quiet if you must. Let people wonder where you went, because when you come back, you'll be unrecognizable. Not because you got lucky, but because you got focused. Because you chose to build instead of browse, to create instead of consume. And while everyone else was distracted by noise, you were crafting your breakthrough in silence. That's what real change demands. Relentless focus, no compromise, no apologies, just execution. Relentless, disciplined execution. Craft a ruthless routine, not a comfortable one, not a convenient one, a routine that demands more from you than you've ever demanded from yourself. Because structure builds discipline, and discipline builds freedom. Most people want freedom without sacrifice. They want results without order. But if your days are chaotic, your results will be too. You can't expect consistency from a life that's built on randomness. Success doesn't come to the person who works hard sometimes. It comes to the person who works smart daily. Your routine must become sacred. Your time blocks must become unbreakable. Your commitment to order must overpower your attraction to ease. It starts with your mornings. Your first hour sets the tone for everything. You either start with intention or with impulse. If you wake up reaching for your phone, scrolling through other people's lives before even stepping into your own, you've already lost momentum. The most powerful people own their mornings. They set their mind before the world tries to do it for them. They move with purpose. They plan. They prepare. And when the chaos of the day arrives, they don't break. They bend with direction because their foundation is strong. Your routine isn't about being robotic. It's about being ready. Ready to respond. Ready to perform. Ready to rise. And it doesn't stop at the morning. Your nights matter just as much. End the day with reflection, not distraction. Prepare for tomorrow before it arrives. Review your wins. Adjust your losses. Protect your sleep like your life depends on it, because your recovery is just as important as your grind. In 6 months, your life can completely change if you build your days with purpose. Don't just go through the motions. Build rituals that sharpen you. Build systems that protect your energy. Build a life where every hour has intention, not accident. That's how you separate from the average. That's how you break cycles. Not with random bursts of effort, but with a ruthless routine that says, "This is who I am now, and I will not break character." To build an obsession with progress, not perfection, progress. Because perfection is a lie that paralyzes potential. But progress, even when it's messy, even when it's slow, is the seed of transformation. Every step you take forward, no matter how small, is proof that you're becoming more. Most people wait for huge milestones before they feel like they're winning. But the truth is, greatness is hidden in the tiny, quiet victories. Waking up on time, finishing what you started, saying no to the old habits, choosing growth instead of comfort. You need to fall in love with that process, with the grind, with the momentum. Because the person who tracks their progress, who celebrates their consistency, who refuses to quit even when it's boring, that person becomes unstoppable. Obsession gets a bad reputation. People say it's unhealthy, but let's be honest. Aren't most people already obsessed? Obsessed with distractions. obsessed with other people's lives, obsessed with opinions, trends, and noise. What if you turned that same energy inward? What if you made your growth your obsession? What if every day became a mission to beat yesterday, to outwork your old self, to get just 1% better? That's how you win this 6-month war, not by waiting for motivation, but by chasing measurable progress like your future depends on it, because it does. Track your progress ruthlessly. Write it down. Measure it. Review it. Let your growth become undeniable. When you can see how far you've come, even on the days when doubt creeps in, you have evidence that you're rising. Let that evidence fuel your fire. You're not just hoping anymore, you're building. You're not just dreaming, you're executing. And if you commit to daily progress, something shifts. Confidence grows, momentum compounds, and soon what once felt impossible becomes your new normal. That's the reward of obsession. That's the power of relentless progress. You stop waiting for breakthroughs and start becoming one. Embrace discomfort like it's your teacher, because it is. Discomfort is not the enemy, it's the signal that you're on the edge of growth. Every breakthrough you've ever wanted lives on the other side of resistance, but most people run from it. They avoid it. They make comfort their god and worship convenience. But comfort never built a legacy. It never transformed a life. It never forged a warrior. You must become someone who seeks discomfort, not recklessly, but intentionally. Someone who steps into hard things because they know that pressure shapes power. Pain reveals potential, and resistance carves resilience. When you hit that point where your mind starts screaming for an escape, that's the door. That's the very place most people quit, and that's the exact place where you rise. You lean in. You hold your ground. You say, this is where I grow. Growth never feels good in the moment. It burns. It breaks. It demands sacrifice. But it's that very burn that transforms weakness into strength. The discomfort of early mornings, of tough conversations, of saying no to temptations, of staying disciplined when nobody's watching. That's where your real self is built. Not in the spotlight, in the struggle. And here's the truth most people never understand. Discomfort is temporary, but regret is forever. You can feel the pain of discipline today or the pain of regret tomorrow, but either way, you will feel pain. One builds you, the other breaks you. If you want to change your life in 6 months, you have to make peace with being uncomfortable every single day. You have to train your mind to stop interpreting discomfort as danger. You are not dying, you are developing. You're not breaking, you're becoming. Every day you step into discomfort, you get stronger. And every day you avoid it, you stay the same. 6 months of choosing discomfort on purpose will do more for your life than 6 years of chasing comfort ever could. And when it's all said and done, you'll realize it wasn't the pain that was holding you back. It was your fear of facing it. Hey, if complex problems are too big and too heavy, you make it your business to figure it out. If you're a believer, you want to know for sure. Protect your environment with everything you've got, because no matter how strong your mindset is, if you're surrounded by weak energy, it will slowly infect your focus. You can't grow in a place that constantly pulls you back into who you used to be. You can't become your future self while constantly entertaining the habits, conversations, and people that belong to your past. Your environment is either shaping you or sabotaging you. There is no neutral ground. And if you're serious about changing your life in 6 months, then you need to audit your circle with brutal honesty. Look around. Who are you spending your time with? Who do you listen to? Who influences your thoughts when you're tired, distracted, or doubting yourself? Are they pushing you forward or holding you down? Do they challenge your laziness or comfort it? Do they celebrate your growth or secretly resent it? Where the transformers are going, the transformers have gone. Yourself, your future, and your wealth. If you're surrounded by people who don't believe in their own potential, don't be surprised when they mock yours. Misery loves company. Comfort seeks validation, and mediocrity hates momentum. If you don't deliberately choose your environment, it will choose you. And chances are it will choose your past, not your future. Sometimes protecting your environment means distancing yourself from people you love. That's hard, but your growth must come first, not out of ego, but out of purpose. Because when you finally level up, when you build something real, when you become the proof that transformation is possible, then you can lift others too. But you can't help anyone if you're still drowning in their chaos. Create boundaries, not walls. Create standards, not silence. Let people rise with you, but don't let them pull you down. Your environment isn't just people either. It's everything. What you read, what you watch, what you feed your mind, what you tolerate. Make your surroundings match your vision. If you want to live like your future self, start building the atmosphere that supports that life today. You are the product of what surrounds you. Change your environment, and you change everything. Master your self-talk, because the most important conversation you'll ever have is the one you have with yourself. You can do all the right things externally. Work hard, show up, hustle every day. But if your inner voice is filled with doubt, fear, and self-criticism, it will quietly destroy everything you build. What you say to yourself when no one is listening, that's what determines whether you rise or retreat. Every breakthrough begins in the mind, and your thoughts are either reinforcing your power or eroding it. If you speak defeat, you'll live in defeat. But if you speak strength, even while shaking, you'll train your mind to believe in your rise. It's not about lying to yourself. It's about choosing truth that empowers rather than paralyzes. You are not your past. You are not your pain. You are not your mistakes. You are the decision maker of what happens next. Your brain believes what you repeat. So stop rehearsing failure. Stop repeating, I can't, I'm tired, I'm stuck. Those phrases are not observations, they're instructions. Your mind is always listening, and it builds the world you tell it to expect. If you want to change your reality, change your language. Tell yourself you're disciplined. Tell yourself you're unstoppable. Even if you don't fully believe it yet, say it until your actions catch up. That's how transformation begins, not by waiting to believe, but by choosing to lead. Every morning you have a choice. Repeat the thoughts that kept you stuck, or declare the ones that will set you free. When the old voice returns, the one that says you'll never change, never be enough, never make it, you interrupt it. You replace it. You command your mind to serve your vision. 6 months of positive, powerful self-talk can rewire years of doubt. But it starts with awareness, and then with courage, the courage to speak life over yourself even when everything around you looks the same, because your words are seeds. Plant strength, plant purpose, plant faith, and if you stay consistent, what grows will shock the world. Own the outcome. Whatever happens over these next 6 months, whether you rise, fall, struggle, succeed, it's yours. No blaming, no excuses, no pointing fingers. This is your life, and no one's coming to rescue you. That might sound harsh, but it's also your greatest power, because the moment you take full ownership, you take full control. If your life is your responsibility, then your future is your creation. It means you are not at the mercy of your past, your circumstances, or anyone else's opinion. You are the author now. You hold the pen. And what happens next is entirely up to you. You have everything you need inside you: potential, vision, hunger. The only missing piece is decision. Not a wish, not a someday. A real, unshakable decision that says, I don't care how long it takes. I don't care how hard it gets. I will not stop. That level of decision makes the universe move. That level of commitment silences doubt. It unlocks opportunities, sharpens your instincts, attracts alignment, and eliminates distractions. When you decide fully, without wavering, your energy shifts. People feel it. You feel it. Your life begins to orbit around that one relentless intention to evolve. 6 months from now, you'll either look back with pride or with regret. You'll either say, I gave it everything, or I let it slip again. The time will pass either way. So why not make it count? Why not go all in? Why not become unrecognizable mentally, emotionally, spiritually? You give yourself 6 months of no compromise, 6 months of self-mastery, 6 months of showing up when it's hard, staying focused when it's quiet, and choosing purpose when comfort calls. Do that and watch what happens, not just around you, but within you. You'll discover strength you forgot you had. You'll develop clarity you've never known. And you'll become someone you never thought was possible, not because life gave it to you, but because you demanded it from yourself. This is your time. Start.